I went around and met with EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and I'd go into this meeting a little bit cocky, and I'd put the book down, and I'd be like, I want to make another billion-dollar IP.
It's absolutely bloody crap!
Lawbreakers seems to be all but dead.
Hey everybody, welcome to Dead Game News.
It is going to take some pretty massive changes to help turn it around.
I want to make another billion-dollar IP.
Hello everyone. Holy shit, man. We saw some big news on the weekend. It looks like someone has definitely needed a res. 100%. Is that how we're starting or not?
Good thing I'm back.
Good thing Ralph's back.
Sam, have you heard the good word of our Lord and Savior, Cliffy B?
I thought you were going to say Todd Howard. No, I have not, Ralph. Please tell me what happened with Cliffy B.
Todd.
Todd.
Please.
I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs.
God rays out of the earth. Don't mention his name this week.
Sorry, oh my god.
I'm reviewing his fucking game this week.
I think our camera's now gotten a bit buggy and we're all going like this now. The moment
rest
we
of the
offer.
Guys, Cliff Bleszinski,
Yes.
he is a famed developer of yore. One of the greats in the industry, to be honest.
Definitely.
And he made a game called Lawbreakers.
I made a game called Radical Heights too.
Didn't do so well.
No, it didn't.
And unfortunately, he had to bow out of the industry. And everyone was hoping that he would at some point make a return. However, it turns out that's never happening. Cliffy B tweeted out this weekend saying that he will never make another video game. It's sad tale of woe.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Rip, rip.
Okay, everyone. Let's start from
the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning. Everyone knows him. He made his name from, of course, making the Gears of War. Okay, when they first came out, they were a huge phenomenon.
But also Unreal as well.
Okay, sure. But
I mean,
you know,
let's not forget that.
Of
one.
course, but in terms of like him, it feels like he really got on the map with that.
Yeah, the Gears of War was his baby, whereas Unreal he was like a contributor. But Gears of War was like his
definitely
thing.
right. Got him on the map, made him billions and billions of dollars, started driving around Lamborghinis and shit. Right.
That old school game dev life, like that John Romero era, where like, hey guys, we're nerds with Ferraris. Check this out, and everyone's like, that's weird.
Like a Bill Gates, like a cool Bill Gates.
Yeah. But
then,
not actually that cool.
Not that cool.
Do you have any special talents?
Actually, no, Cliffy's rep back then was actually like he was a bit of a...
He was a badass.
Rockstar,
he was the Tony Stark.
Boy.
He was
a bit Tony Stark-esque back then. That's true.
Yes. Then, of course, you know, he took a bit of time off and came out with the new awesome game everyone was very excited for, Lawbreakers. Okay?
True. He actually formed his own studio called Boss Key Productions. They were being published by Nexon, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they said that they were going to make an arena shooter, essentially. Like a hero-based arena shooter. And everything was going really well. And then all of a sudden, this 600-pound gorilla enters the ring known as Overwatch.
Yes, known as Winston, everybody. And
we actually were I was at E3, and I heard... Were you there as well?
I was with you, yeah, and you interviewed Cliffy.
I interviewed Cliffy,
yeah.
And Cliffy actually spoke specifically about when he heard that like Blizzard were making a hero shooter, and he was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, he was confident because he felt like their game was different enough, and he was going to give it a go. Lawbreakers launched spectacularly badly. Like, one of the worst launches in the history of video games.
I don't think I've ever seen a game that launched that badly.
I actually tried to review that game, but I couldn't review it because I couldn't get any games.
Yeah.
And that was on day 2 or 3. It literally went from like
700
2 or 3,000
something?
concurrent players down to 500, down to like 10 within the space of 3. It was insane how fast it was, right?
It became a meme in 24 hours.
It really did. It was very sad. And so that game actually immediately collapsed and it got canned, basically. The developer said, we're not going to send this free to play. The publisher said, it's all a sunk cost. It's a complete write-off. And that was it. That game was then dead.
Yeah. And then everybody, Cliffy was like, I'm coming back, baby, okay? Battle Royale's the new thing, man. I'm coming back now. It's going to be called Radical Heights, okay? Stranger Things, 80s shit.
Yep.
Like, meets freaking, Battle Royale. And, of course, it went fantastically. Put him back in the game, everybody. Everyone was very excited when no one played that game.
Absolutely. You know, it actually had a few people at the start.
Yeah,
it
did.
But then, all of a sudden, no one was playing it.
No one was playing.
And then they announced that Boss Key Productions was shutting down, and that was it. Cliffy was then sort of out of the games industry, and he started writing his memoirs.
There was no need for a second. The end. Good memoirs. good, not great.
And then we never really heard from him, okay?
Yeah.
Cliffy resurfaced this week in response to a troll. Lots of people love to @Cliffy B. And one of this troll, who's now deleted his tweet, said something to the effect of...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he deleted. Something to the effect of, I can't believe you still haven't refunded my copy of Lawbreakers. Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy feels like he's entitled to a refund because he bought a game and then immediately it died. Now, I sort of understand where that dude is coming from, but also sort of not.
Yeah, I think there's a lot,
This guy, Cliffy, took a shot on a game. He tried his best he could to make it. And can I say it was a decent enough game?
It was a decent enough game.
It was not a shitty, phoned-in, crappy, lazy effort.
Exactly
It was
right.
a decent
We've
game.
always said that the fundamental game itself was actually quite well put together. It wasn't a game that I loved, but yes, you're right. It was a good game.
Yeah.
And I get it. People like giving my money back at the same time. They're like, dude, we gave you a good product, just didn't work out. Sorry,
Yeah, I think I definitely see both sides of that equation, but I do think this guy was being a bit of a dick to Cliffy by saying
I think
this.
he was just looking for a reaction.
I
And
think so.
Boy, did he get a reaction!
He got it. This is what Cliffy said in response to this guy.
Yeah.
First of all, it opens with this meme. Kindly behold all of the fucks that I do not give. That was the response to the
Cliffy
original.
there.
That was Cliffy right there.
Love you,
Perfect.
Cliffy.
Vintage Cliffy. But this is what he actually says about sort of what he went through, okay? I paid my employees their 401ks, their healthcare, even months after the studio folded, so they could care for their families. I didn't take a salary myself for 2 years. I get you're sad, but God, this kind of shit is another reason I am never making another game. So...
I'm never making another game, everybody.
Look, first of all, what he says here is it's actually really noble that he did this stuff, can I say?
Yes.
Because, for example, when Telltale folded, they really fucked some people in the ass, and a lot of people just weren't paid their severance that they were due because, that company mismanaged itself. A
100%.
lot of people got screwed, okay?
Not to mention,
Cliffy,
I was going to say, not to mention, like a second before they closed their doors, like, by the way, see you later.
I'm going now.
It sounds like he was trying to give them months and months of preparation and months of time to really sort their next career choice. So I agree with that. I think that's a really great thing.
I'm sure that Cliffy could have found some way to screw his employees out of some money if he wanted to just pocket it himself. So for him to do that is a really just an awesome and very classy move in an industry where that doesn't happen all the time. And I really think that point needs to be made up front.
I agree with that, and definitely seeing that is a great way to, finish, the saga of Cliffy. For us to know that those things went on, fantastic stuff. It really is.
So the other thing is, I'm genuinely sad that Cliffy says he'll not make another
I
game.
agree. I know. Yeah.
We've memed all over Cliffy.
We love
Don't get
to
me
meme.
wrong.
We love
right?
to meme, but
at the same time, he made a good game with Lawbreakers,
and he made good games in general.
and he made fantastic games in general over his history. Yes. So it's sad that he's choosing to peace out like this. I think the biggest problem with Lawbreakers was the marketing approach that they took, and I think that a lot of that was led by Cliffy. Cliffy put himself quite front and center. He's got an abrasive personality. He said some pretty cringy things that I think really hurt the brand of the game. And plus, they had this whole like skilled as fuck thing, which is like, if you're a fucking casual, don't even look at our game, you filthy scrub.
Gamer glasses.
It's that sort of shit.
It was very much like, if you're not hardcore, then fuck off.
Gamer Gear glasses help you see the game and look cooler than ever.
That marketing might work for some games. I think it didn't work here. I kind of think of Cliffy very similar to, I don't know how this is going to sound, but like Hideo Kojima in terms of the way that he's very front and center, like in terms of, when a game comes out,
it's linked to the personality.
Yes, it's linked to the personality, and if he was to come out and say some really crappy things, Hideo, I think it would affect the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No one would be frothing for Death Stranding as much as if it was being made by Peter Molyneux, for example. Everyone would be like, sure, buddy, it's going to be good. We believe you this time.
Yeah, so when Cliffy was in a similar position, very front and center, very part of that marketing campaign, saying things like, I want to make another $1 billion IP and all this kind of shit, I mean, that affects the marketing because people then, have naturally associate your persona with the game, and it has an effect,
So personally, given that Cliffy is Cliffy is clearly, this is the hard part.
That's going in, baby.
So clearly, Cliffy is a very talented developer.
100%.
I just think he's a bit of a shitty marketer. So what I would actually love is for Cliffy to make another game.
Yes.
I don't think that he made a bad game here. I think he made a good game. And the fact that he treated his staff so well is a good thing.
I agree.
I would love to see him get back in the saddle, make some good shit, let some other people handle the PR, and just make a good good fucking product that everyone can really respect.
Yeah,
because I don't think a man that's done this sort of stuff, made a good game and treated his staff well, is the kind of person that we want to kick out of the industry.
I totally agree. I think that, you know, he needs to do more games, do less talking. I think that's really what it needs to come down to.
Thanks.
I think if he came back, you know, and I think the community would be very forgiving, even if he has said this, to be like, dude, it's been a year since I made this statement. I'm coming back, baby, and I want to do something else for you guys. Everyone would probably welcome with open arms if he changed the stuff he said,
but at the same time, there's different ways this could go.
Yes.
But we personally hope that Cliffy will rejoin.
We do. And honest question, do you think this is the end of Cliffy?
I do not think this is the end of Cliffy.
I don't think so either. I really feel like he's retired before and he's come back.
This guy was sitting on a mountain of cash earlier from previous successes. He also bought into like Oculus really early on. So like he's pretty well off, right? I think he didn't need to make a game, but he wanted to. And I think once the music's in you, it's in you for life. I suspect Cliffy will be sitting around bored one day and be like, fuck it, I need to make another game.
Yeah, and I think I'm sure...
I look forward to that day, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has the connection still that he needs to sit down in front of any, you know, big wig and go, dude, I want to make a game, can you back me? You know, and I think that a lot of people...
I think it'd be like, let's do it with a team of people. Rather than just like him personally, I think it'd be a collective.
I agree, actually.
I think it'd be a bit of a hard pitch if like, he walked up to Sony and
I think he'd have to whisper into someone who's like, oh, what Cliffy wants to say is he'd like to do a game. You know, like, he has to be like totally lost in translation kind of shit.
Anyway, that's the news. Cliffy, love you long time, buddy. Thanks for all the work. And
thank you all the memes.
Very classy move with your staff.
Totally.
Well done.
Totally.
Thanks very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you
Bye.
Do you have any special talents?